In the middle of winter, you know, sometimes you just get a taste. You want a taste of summer. I like a Wisconsin Fair cream puff, and you know what? You can do that. It's so easy, crazy easy. This recipe is a taste of summer that you can do all winter long, and it's super duper simple. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to whip up some heavy cream. And one of the most requests I get, the most emails, the most questions, how do you make your own homemade whipped cream? It's very, very simple. And whipped cream, in my book, homemade is like one of the best things ever. You know, it just doesn't compare to the kind in the can that squirts or the frozen tub. There's nothing like homemade whipped cream. And everything from, you know, fresh fruit and berries to the leftovers are great in a cup of coffee and make me smile in the morning. And of course, they're fabulous in dessert. So we're gonna make homemade whipping cream. And the star of the show is Lamers Heavy Cream. We're celebrating Wisconsin. We talked about this earlier. Lamers is the very best. And this recipe calls for an entire pint. So you can, you know, easily cut it in half if you are cooking for less, and do half of this. And they sell Lamers, these big guys, but they also sell the little half pints. So we're gonna throw it in, and this just came out of the refrigerator. Real important to do this with an electric mixer. KitchenAid makes this real easy, but a hand mixer will also work. In the summer, it's more difficult to whip up heavy cream because it's hot, right? And so if you're, you know, pulling the cream out ahead by accident, leaving it on the counter, it needs to be ice cold. And in the summer, sometimes I'll even put the bowl in the fridge or the freezer, a stainless bowl, to keep it extra cold. So then we're gonna do a teaspoon, or you could do a little more, of our best vanilla ever from Bulk Price Food. And then as far as the sugar goes, my sugar of choice for homemade whipping cream is powdered sugar or extra fine sugar, because it dissolves and you won't really taste or feel any of the sugar crystals. If you don't have it, regular sugar will work just fine. But if you have powdered sugar, that works best for heavy whipping cream. Now, the amount of sugar is a big debate. It really depends on how sweet you like it. I don't like it super sweet, so I like to do just a couple tablespoons. Or a quarter of a cup. If you want it more sweet, certainly add more powdered sugar. So then let her rip, right? You want this on high, and it doesn't take long at all. Now let's talk about the pastry for this. I've got a shortcut, and I know that mixer is really loud. So the cream puffs, of course, they make at Wisconsin Cream Fair are a little more complicated, a little more labor intensive. This is a shortcut for easy breezy, kind of cheater cream puffs. They're puff pastry shells. They come frozen, and you want to bake them from the frozen state. So they kind of look like little hockey puffs. Don't thaw them. You want to bake them as is. This is already almost getting there. See how we're doing. Yeah, I think we're just about there. At home, maybe do this a little bit longer, but I want you to be able to hear me talk. So bake these from the frozen state. Real important to follow the directions on the back of the box, and preheat that oven to 425. Do not thaw them. Do not bake them at low temperature. They've got to be at a high temperature, straight frozen. Otherwise, they won't puff up. And they're great for all sorts of different recipes, not just these cream puffs. So basically, you're going to have these real pretty shells, and you want to split them in half. And that one didn't go just as good, but there we go. And they're so yummy, let me tell you. And then we're going to take, this little shell was a little stinker. Okay, now we're going to take a nice big dollop of the whipping cream. And you don't want to whip it too much, though, or then we're going to turn into butter. So it's kind of like a happy medium. And you want lots of whipping cream. You know, at the state fair, when you bite into one of those, the cream goes all over. So no skimping on the cream. Now, an optional thing you can do is you can add some fresh berries. We happen to have some raspberry pie filling. And then we're going to put the lids of these guys right back on. And talk about a quick, easy taste of summer, taste of Wisconsin. There you go.